Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, Zoe Nowicki.
You know, we're just into the second fight of the night, and it's pretty rare that you are going to get such marquee names at the bottom of a card, but we got two of them in this fight here as Zoe Nowicki is coming to the cage right now. I mean, get this, Peter, a two-time national wrestling champion. That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. It's, you know, like you said, you don't find this quality of fighters at the beginning of a card often. This is a fight that we have had circled on our calendars since Josh Terry told us it was announced. I'm very excited about this fight, to say the least.
Absolutely, as we take a look at Zoe coming in. Again, has definitely made a name for herself as a two-time national wrestling champion. And speaking of names, she's going up against one as we take a look at the tail of the tape. And then we will check out her opponent, Ronna Gross.
And her opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, Ronna Gross.
And here comes Ronna to the cage right now as both she and Zoe making their amateur debuts. And Ronna Gross, we talked about names. So Zoe Nowicki, a two-time national wrestling champion. Ronna Gross, her original maiden name was Heaton, is a three-time world team member as a wrestler. Her husband is an assistant wrestling coach for the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I mean, these are big wrestling names that are coming into the cage for just our second fight of the night. And Ronna Gross getting checked out right now. Kind of excited to see her make her debut as well.
Yeah, you never see this. You never see two amateur fighters as decorated as they are debuting against each other. Usually when we see something like this, it's the highly decorated wrestler versus, you know, someone that's been training in MMA for a short period of time. This is a fantastic fight, and I'm excited to see how this one turns out.
Yeah, absolutely. As Ronna Gross into the cage, and not a lot of fanfare. You know, it's kind of funny how different fighters will enter the cage. Some slow, some with a lot of energy. She just strolled right in like she owned the cage, and you gotta like it as we go up to Ken for the introduction.
3-minute rounds brought to you by 608 Smoke. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. She weighed in at 125 pounds, making her debut for you this evening. Fighting out of Brighton, Michigan, representing Scorpion Fighting System, Zoe Nowicki. And her opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, also weighing in at 125 pounds, making her debut for you this evening. Fighting out of Madison, Wisconsin, representing Chosen Few Gym. Please welcome Ronna Gross.
Ronna with a lot of local support as Nowicki comes to us from Michigan. So again, both making their debuts, both looking pretty darn confident as they go in there. I'm not sure that they're going to have quite the same jitters. They've really battled a lot in their careers outside of a cage. First time in the cage, though, going at it, and here we go. And we'll see if we go right to wrestling, both of them with the wrestling background, or if they're going to go ahead and strike. Nah, we don't need any of that. We're going to go right to the mat, aren't we? That would be my guess, but right now, Ronna doesn't want to go down quite yet as we got Zoe coming in on her and landing some shots using that right hand. I tell you what, Gross with the reach and height advantage, but that's not going to matter here because she let Nowicki get inside.
Absolutely. You know, when we see two fighters that are, you know, wrestling based heavy, sometimes we see that just play out on the feet, but right now it looks like one wants to go for the takedowns, Nowicki wants to go for the takedown, and Gross wanted to keep it on the feet.
Yeah, and I think Gross might be better served to do that. Again, having that height and reach advantage, a lot of times you can use that, but you got to stay at distance and not let your opponent get in. That's easier said than done, especially with someone like Nowicki. I tell you, 5'1", she's low to the ground, so a very low center of gravity and kind of built like a fire plug. I mean, people like that sometimes are really hard to keep off of you. And she does get that takedown that she wanted, and she's driving Gross right into the cage, right in front of us here in our position, as she is able to go ahead and get into top mount. So Gross now definitely on the defensive. Yeah,
this is right in front of the corner again. You can hear her coach giving instructions.
And now she's using that corner to her advantage. She definitely is listening to her corner right away, as Nowicki getting the best of Gross right now, landed a couple shots, one to the belly, one to the head, and still in top mount as Gross doing her best just to keep Nowicki at bay.
Land your shots for me, Zoe Nowicki.
Gross looking to use her hands to get out of this position right now. Nowicki doing her best to even keep Gross up against that cage. An uncomfortable position right now if you're Gross to be in. I mean, it's different when you're a wrestler. You don't have to worry about that cage and your neck going up against it.
Yeah, you don't want your head up against the cage, and her coach has said on multiple occasions now, put her head back up against the fence, and she's done it immediately. So she's obviously hearing instructions very well.
And so now Nowicki again on top, and sometimes you'll see a fighter slam another fighter down, and she got a couple shots in, and now trying to get on the back, maybe the side there of Gross. Gross looking to hook that leg and get out of it. She's able to reverse it and now put Nowicki down.
And now it's payback time.
Here come the shots from Gross, who was on her back, and now both fighters back up to their feet, and good solid action. The final few seconds of round number one, and the crowd loved the reversal from Gross at the end of the first round. We come back, check out round number two after this on the Chosen Few Fighting Championships on TVW. Taking a look at the replay right there, as we saw early on, Nowicki was able to get inside against Gross, and then for much of the round, she used that to her advantage.
Absolutely, and then when Gross got the position on the back, it looked as though Nowicki may have grabbed the cage here a little bit and maybe took some effect out of that takedown. The referee just came over and gave a warning. That's what we like to see. We don't want to see points taken away. Give a verbal warning. Get back to business.
Yeah, Tom's usually pretty good about that and was able to keep the action going. So both fighters have survived their first round as their corners exit. We're ready for round number two between Nowicki and Gross. Reversal at the end, maybe saving the round for Gross, but most of that round was dominated by Nowicki.
You know, and I'm not seeing the jitters that we say, and that's probably goes because they fought at, high-level competition before with their wrestling backgrounds. Nice jab from Gross.
Yeah, Gross looks pretty comfortable striking, as Nowicki definitely wanting to get inside and get to more of wrestling and grappling, but Gross, who wanted to keep her at length, I think she will learn to do that as she gains a little bit more experience on how to do that as a striker, especially when you have the advantage at length. So now Nowicki getting another takedown, using that right hand again to get in on Gross and landing shots from the right side. Some of those are blocked, but some of those are getting through as well. Absolutely. As Nowicki is scoring. So Zoe right now on top, but there comes a reversal again from Gross. I tell you what, Gross is doing a nice job not panicking and being able to get reversals against Nowicki.
Yeah, this is high-level grappling right here, that's for sure. Gross gets the reversal, is looking to get into mount.
And now Gross is the one landing the shots, but almost in an armbar there as she almost made a mistake. Gross gonna put some weight down on Nowicki right now, as she has the advantage here and using a good job with her left leg to gain leverage on Nowicki.
Now go full guard, Zoe. Zoe, full
so
guard.
Again, good.
This is a great position for Gross. She can stay in the half guard position and ride it out.
Yep.
Zuki gets to guard now.
Good instructions coming in from both corners as well, and we could hear Nowicki's corner right next to us shouting out instructions for Nowicki to stay in that full guard, and we'll see what Gross is going to do with it. Gross now a nice job. She was able to push Nowicki up against the cage, and turnabout is fair play, where we saw Gross's head and neck up against the cage in round number 1. Now it's Nowicki in that uncomfortable spot.
Yeah, it's a mirror image of the first round.
And now a couple of shots rained down by Gross, but Nowicki quick to at least defend herself here as we're inside of a minute for round number 2. Second fight of 14 here from Monona Terrace, as both fighters now going back down to the mat, and it looks like Gross still has the back and the advantage here.
She's a little high up, and she gets shaken off here. 25 seconds, see if she can hold on.
Gross looking for that rear naked choke here, as I don't think she got it.
Too high right now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think she's got it underneath there, and so she's not going to be able to get it, but definitely with the advantage, and a better round here for Ronna Gross here in round number 2. We've seen her land some good shots and have the advantage. Nowicki using the good left hand to get to the side of the head of Gross to finish that second round. All right, third and final round action coming up on TVW. Checking out the action from round number 2. And again, it was Nowicki with the early takedown, and then Gross able to get the reversal again. So Peter, what we're seeing, you called it high-level grappling. That's exactly what it is, isn't it? I mean, we're seeing takedowns, reversals, a lot of wrestling terminology being used.
Yeah, this is a chess match on the ground. I think Nowicki's getting the better of it on the ground when landing ground and pound. Gross is getting best of it during her reversals.
So what do we need to see from either fighter to gain the advantage here in round number 3? What are you expecting?
I think Nowicki's going to try and close the distance, get in close, and do what she's been doing. But if Gross can keep this on the feet, I think she holds an advantage in the striking. She's got the reach, so let's interested to see if she can put that jab in her face to start this last round off.
Yeah, I think that she's trying to keep distance the first couple of rounds, hasn't been able to do it. She comes out with the kick, a couple of shots too, with a left and a right, good combination, but Nowicki eating some of those punches and coming in and then getting in close. So Nowicki's had to take some shots and some punishment to get there, but eventually she does get there and right up on the body of Gross.
And we've seen this now for this is the third round. We've seen this in every round where Nowicki just gets in, puts her against the fence. It'll be interesting to see if they stay in this position, whether time will separate them.
So Gross trying to stay on her feet here. Nowicki looking for the takedown. She's got a couple in each of the first 2 rounds.
She's got to watch that neck.
Yeah, she let that neck go, and now Gross looking to end it right here and to get underneath that neck of Nowicki, and she's not in that bad of a position at this point.
Now, one thing we know about the Chosen Few, Jim, though, you leave your neck out, you're going to go to sleep. A la Alex Gilpin.
Every time it seems like, yeah, you cannot present that neck at all because you're going to be in big trouble. As now, again, Nowicki doing a good job at least fighting forward, getting out of a potential choke and keeping the pressure up against Gross, just leaning her body in and her weight up against Gross. Gross trying to fight her way out of it, but Nowicki's not letting her breathe.
Gross has to get her back off the fence.
Absolutely, as a couple of knees now coming in as well. And Gross now on top and using a left hand here to punish Gross, as her neck was in an awkward position once again. You don't want to be there and up against the cage. And I tell you what, right now, I mean, Gross is just spending a lot of this round up against the cage.
Absolutely. And we've seen Gross get out of this position twice now, able to get the reversal, but right now Nowicki's in charge.
Coming up on the final minute of the fight, and if there was ever a time for a reversal here from Gross, it would be right here, right now, not leaving it to the end, because this could be the third and deciding round between these two, and what has been a pretty even fight.
Zoe, press in the wall. Look for your body lock for me. Yes, around the back.
Nowicki again looking to get on the back of Gross. Gross now, there's that reversal again.
Gotta love these scrambles. This is high-level wrestling.
Then it's Nowicki, then it's Gross, and good action here. And the crowd responds in kind to some excellent wrestling by both of these grapplers.
Gross has got to land some strikes here. Oh, armbar.
And that armbar might end it right here. Gross in a bit of trouble. Nope, able to shake out of it and get back on top. We're inside of 10 seconds now. We'll see if a final flurry can help Gross out. Instead, it's Nowicki getting the better of the shots at the end of the fight. So a good fight, and we'll see how it ends up getting scored when we return to the Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 21 here on TVW. Replay here from the third round as both fighters looking to make a lasting impact on our judges. We've got some good ones here tonight. Gabriel Sabeda sitting right next to me. Larry Struck here as well in his familiar spot. How did you see it, Peter?
You know, that was a really, really close fight. I think Nowicki got it 2 rounds to 1, but you never know that. If you start the third round, Gross landed some nice strikes. You just never know what the judges are looking for that night.
Well, let's see how they did decide as we go up to Ken Bostetter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for these two fighters. We go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score the contest. 29-28 for the fighter. Fighting out of the red corner, Zoe Nowicki.
And I think they did score it right. I think that's how we had it too. 2 rounds to 1 as Nowicki able to take that third and final round. And tears from Ronna Gross, but I think she'll be back, and I'm sure she'll be fine as she showed a lot of heart and some good moves.
Absolutely. Both fighters showing some emotion right now. That was a fun fight. It's 2 top-level athletes, top-level competitors. You know, you put a lot into it.
Can we get you in here?
You understand.
Absolutely, and let's hear from the winner.
I gotta tell you, that was an absolute wrestling clinic between the 2 of you. That was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Tell me how you're feeling after getting all these jitters out, your debut fight. How you feeling?
I feel amazing. I walked in that cage so confident, like this is where I belong. So I feel amazing. I've been through so much this fight camp in my personal life. 6 weeks ago, I didn't know if I could step into this cage, and I'm here tonight doing it, winning.
It was a pleasure to watch. I hope to see you again. Will we see you in the future soon?
100%.
100%. Zoe Nowicki.
Love to see the human side of it as Nowicki showing emotion, victorious in her debut. All right, fight number 3 coming up next on TVW.